You've got a space, at least a kind of permanent temporary space, and board of directors. You're on the road.
We're on the road, so we're happy after a year of getting it all together that we're really ready to launch the Institute and actually start getting down to the work we promised. And we've got a lot of good partners in this endeavor, and I fully expect that you'll see the difference over the next while. And great thanks to Saunders Shores for helping us get started with our first location at least. I don't think it's big enough to satisfy all the stuff we set on the schedule, but it'll let us get started, and we'll go from there.
And I was going to ask about that. Having seen the original artist's conception and then seeing the police station, the old police station, you would need a second floor on that police station in order to get something near the same size.
Or more than one facility. So some of the other concept we've talked about was being able to kind of, I guess what's the word, have pop-up bits and pieces in different parts of the county or in other counties. And
Satellite facilities?
Yeah, satellite facilities. We haven't really, I guess I'd say, formulated those plans real thoughtfully. We needed to start, so we got this first building. But yeah, it's roughly about a third of the size we figure we need to do the work program we have. But we're not quite sure what the next step is. As we move down the road now, we will work that out. And of course, we're getting some input from the council and others about where they think we ought to be. And we'll go from there. So I was just anxious to get started, so I'm glad we got a place to go so we can start doing some real work and show some value. And then we'll take the next step when we're ready to take it.
How soon will it take you to get in there once the police leave, hopefully by the end of the year?
They believe they'll be out of there by October at the latest, and there's some hope we could maybe do it faster than that. It's really just waiting on the finish of the new building, which I think has come along pretty quickly now. They were held up for a bit there with some strikes and other things in the construction industry. I believe that's been cleared now, and they're actually finishing the construction at Saunders Shores. We do expect to be in there October at the latest, and I'm going to kind of encourage people to be sooner if all possible.
If you can just expand on the opportunity you talked about here, why, the why here, the why now, the why the Institute in this area?
Well, I think the why is really about looking forward, right? If we talk about 40 years or more operation, you can't take that for granted. The fact that it looks very positive today is great, but what challenges are going to come along? And if you look at the Bruce site, last year was the 50th anniversary of nuclear power production on the Bruce site of actually delivering electricity to the Ontario grid. And by the time we finish in the 60s, we'll be 100 years plus. And hopefully we'll finish in the 60s, but if you look at just the current lifespan, and you think back what's around today that was here 100 years ago, and you realize not much actually. Electricity was a great industrial revolution back in the early 1900s. It was the provision of cheaper, more available power that could be transported over lines instead of hauled in tanks and other things that really drove that last industrial revolution. And you heard in our video we talked about the fourth industrial revolution, and that's what many people say we're in today. We're now into the time of cheap, readily available data and technology, and that will revolutionize the world just like electricity did 100 years ago. So if we hope to be relevant 50 years from now, 40 years from now, we need to think about what the world's going to look like then and get into a situation where we can adapt to it. Because one thing the world is not going to adapt to you. You're going to have to figure out how to adapt to it. So that's really the push. That's why the fact that we have this large capital influx into the area to do with the refurbishments just gives us the wherewithal to really make a difference. I mean, everything takes money and effort and people, and these projects bring all of that. And so we'd be silly not to take advantage of it. I guess that's my bottom line. You're going to have that for 15 years. Why don't you use it to do a whole lot more than just refurbish the plants? That's the opportunity. That's what's there.